Reanimal is the latest game from the developers of Little Nightmares 1 and 2. Andy and I have played it together and beaten it, and we're here to review it for you. Is it a good game, or is it bad? Let's find out on the Late Night Gamer podcast. Welcome, everyone, to the Late Night Gamer podcast. I am your host, as always, Welchy, and joining me, as always, is my co host, Mr. Pop Figures himself, Andy.
Anyone that hasn't played this game is going to be thinking like, "What the fuck?" Or if they haven't seen anything on it, they're going to be like, "What the hell was that whole introduction about?" But yeah, thank you for having me back. Very excited to talk about this game.
Me too. It's just me and you tonight. Steven hasn't played the game, is going to play the game, so he didn't want to have it spoiled. And it makes it easier for me and Andy to talk without having to worry about spoiling it. So I guess a heads up, we will be spoiling this game, not from the outset. We will have a mini bit at the beginning where we give our initial thoughts on the game, our full thoughts on the game, without spoiling it. And then we'll go into some spoilery stuff afterwards. Um, on that intro, I think, and it's going to be great. You can hear you laughing during the music.
Yeah, I thought of that. We're going to be
But
listening to it back and just hear me like
it
laughing.
makes it
Uh,
better because it's if anyone at home as well, we tried this intro like 5 times. I'm very unprepared. I winged that intro completely, and I said, "How do I finish it, Andy?" I couldn't figure out how to finish it, and Andy came up with a suggestion of going like a sheep, which will make sense to people that know what this game is about. If you watched our streams or if you've played it yourself. So we go straight into it today, Andy. Obviously, Reanimal came out. This is bad of me. I should know this. A couple of weeks ago now. I think it was the
it's like
13th, just for
13.
Valentine's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
We jumped on that first night, I think, or that first week at least. I think
Yeah,
it was the
the
13th.
Friday
Yeah.
was it 13?
Yeah, because Valentine's was
Which
the Saturday. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
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 So we
I was
jumped
thinking for some
on.
reason I was thinking the Thursday was 13th. Yeah.
We jumped on the 13th, played it on launch day for about 2 hours or so. We then jumped on again on Tuesday and Wednesday this last week, I think. Makes sense.
Yes.
So it took us
Yeah.
3 play sessions to beat it. This is a very short game. I think I'm guessing yours is the same because we played it the same amount of time.
Yeah.
PlayStation
Yeah.
says 5 hours, and we had some issues that we're going to as well, where we had to redo things. So it could probably be done in 4. I mean, it can
Yeah,
definitely
but
be
we
done
also
in like
did.
2 if you know exactly what you're doing. It's not a long
Yeah,
game, but obviously
and we
not
didn't
knowing the
fully explore
puzzles. Oh
either,
no,
so it could have been longer as well if we
true.
wanted it to be.
Yeah, we definitely didn't do it exploring. There was parts where we rushed through on purpose. Not I say on purpose, but because you're worried about things chasing you and stuff as you do out in horror games. Um, Before we go into it, for anyone who doesn't know what Reanimal is, I'll just read what it says on the Steam page. I just need to confirm my age for them because they think I'm too young. Must be my looks.
I'm curious to see how they describe this game.
Yeah, so, okay, hopefully there's no audio coming from this because it's going to come up on the stream. Um, the creators, oh, is that, that's not even the description, is it? If that's the description, that's not, okay. So it says, what is Reanimal? The original creators of the Little Nightmares and Little Nightmares 2 have returned to take you on a more terrifying journey than ever before. In this co-op horror adventure game, you play as a brother and sister who go through hell. I did not know they're brother and sister.
I didn't until I saw it earlier.
Okay. To go through hell to rescue their missing friends. Exploring by boat and on land, you must use your wits to survive, work together to escape the hellish island and the dark secret that haunts you. Um, that does not give much away at all. It does not
No,
tell
it
you much
doesn't.
at all.
When you play this game, it's like, yeah, but that does not give you any hint to what this is going to be about.
No, but it's very clear from the outset, as soon as you start playing this, that it's the Little Nightmares developers. We
Yeah,
we played a little bit at the Comic Con last year for Little Nightmares 3. I know that's a different developer, but the same style. Um, Interestingly, these developers also made Little Big Planet 3. Um, Developer name is Tarsier Studios. Might be pronouncing that wrong. Um, they're Swedish and based in Malmo in Sweden. Most famous for Little Nightmares and now Reanimal. Andy, Reanimal on Open Critic. Do you remember what it's got?
It was above 80, wasn't it? 81, maybe 82.
81, and I believe this was on Jack's list on the Fancy
Yeah,
Critic draft. So a solid
good start
score.
for him.
I think it was 80 and it's gone up a little bit. On Metacritic, because I know they sometimes do differ.
I think it's
Reanimal,
very similar. If it's maybe
it's
one lower.
80 on Metacritic. Yeah, you're right, bang on.
Yeah,
Although 85 on Xbox on Metacritic, but insane. Like they only got
less reviews.
10 reviews on Xbox and
Yeah, that's
60 on
crazy.
PlayStation. Actually, PlayStation is the lowest score, but also has the most reviews. Um,
Which makes sense.
yeah, Switch 2 is also 83, but with only 13 reviews. So the Switch one is one I would actually consider as a different review score, if that makes sense, because
Yeah, because it's different console, like
yeah,
completely. I know
Xbox and
Xbox is
PS5 are very
different console.
similar,
Yeah,
but
whereas that's handheld. It's a
it's
different
the handheld
experience.
element. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And PC, I guess, is slightly different, but still very similar to PS5 in terms of how it plays. Um,
yeah,
so the
agree with that.
Switch one is interesting. We obviously played on PlayStation 5, Andy. Um, I think there's all the stats and figures to go through. We don't really know budgets and sales and all that right now, but we have beaten it, as I said, in 5 hours, and we're going to give our baseline thoughts at first without spoiling it. What did you think when you finished Reanimal?
I don't even know where to start with this game. Obviously, Welchy, having played it together, you know that this is one weird game, and I won't go into the story too much until we sort of hit spoilers. But yeah, no, overall, I had a really fun time with it. Other than the little hiccup at the end, I'll start with the negative. The one negative was for
Mhm.
me, we got towards the end of the game, and then all of a sudden, I disconnected and was having issues sort of rejoining together. So that sort of slowed it. That was literally seconds away from finish game.
Yeah,
Like literally,
so
like we done it
it
again.
it disconnected Andy right at the end, which we assumed was the final cutscene, not even gameplay, cutscene.
Yeah,
And was like, okay, fine, we'll just have to like reconnect and like do it again. And it would have started at like the very last boss battle, really, and it just wouldn't let Andy join again. So we was like, okay, maybe their servers are down, maybe Andy's internet's bad. Then my thought maybe mine was. We restarted everything, nothing was working, and we was like, I'm convinced. I think we even said, I bet you there's like mere seconds left of this cutscene.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and eventually, I think I found it on Twitter where someone had actually said the exact same issue we had and like messaged the developer, Tarsier Studios, and they
Yeah.
said, really sorry if you make a new save and start from the most recent chapter, um, it should work. And we did that and it worked. You were able to join, but it meant instead of doing the last boss battle, we had to do the whole chapter, which isn't that long,
Yeah.
but it
No,
was
it
still
wasn't
annoying.
long, but it was the waiting to sort of connect
Yeah.
that was pretty long. That part was pretty longer than the actual doing
Yes.
that whole mission again.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, obviously that when you're seconds away from finishing the
And it
game
was
and you
literally
have an
five
issue,
seconds.
it's like, oh man, come on, we're so close to like finishing it without any bugs or any other glitches throughout the game and stuff. So for me, that is the one negative from it. If that's an actual bug, then obviously they need to fix that, and hopefully going forward, no one else will have the same problem as us. Um, but yeah, no, overall, I think I find it tricky reviewing co-op games because I feel like no matter what the story is or what it's going to be about, when you're playing with someone else, it's generally a lot more funner. Like I know Split Fiction is not a good example because that's a great game as well, but
Yes.
whenever I play co-op games, I always seem to have a lot more fun playing them when
Yep.
when you're playing with someone else, basically. But yeah, this game was just so creative with its like the puzzles weren't overcomplicated, which
Mhm.
I like. It was they were easy enough to solve, other than one which was my fault, and that was me not doing stuff properly. With there's a scene where you literally have to get a harpoon and put it in a boat, and when I went up to the boat, I didn't see the symbol or the icon that pops up to tell you to interact with it. So there was one part where we was like, what the hell do we do here? Like we hope it doesn't start getting a bit more complicated now. But no, that was just me. That was a skill issue at that point. I'll happily admit that. Uh, but yeah, no, like the puzzles were fun. The story was intriguing and fascinating, although I'm still not 100% sure what actually happened. I thought the sort of the style of some of the missions. There's sort of a level where there's a sniper that you're getting shot at, and that whole sort of playthrough of that mission I thought was a very fun and cool idea. There's also a lot of mystery in this game, so you're not sure of everything, and there's a part where you can get a secret ending. So I don't know if that would have added it any more information to us in terms of sort of the story and what was going on. Like you said, we didn't know they were brother and sister at the start. And I don't know if that's something we could have found out by
Mm.
exploring more or not. I don't think there was like things where you could pick up information and have like text on the screen sort of thing. It was more sort of
No, it was the concept art,
collectible
wasn't it?
stuff,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Yeah. So I don't know if there's a way for people to know that without
Mm.
actually reading the blurb. I didn't read the description of the game beforehand, so I didn't know that. But yeah, it's freaky. There's a couple jump scares, I'd say, or like parts where you're on the edge of a seat. Obviously, it's a horror game. I wouldn't say it's as scary as like the Resident Evil games, or I haven't really played a lot of horror games, but from what I've heard about them, like Outlast, it's not that sort of horror game where I think anyone could pick this up and play it, even if you're not a massive fan of horror. It's not going to be one that you're like fighting to get through until you finish it. Um, so I think it had a nice balance of the creepiness, the mysterious, and sort of the horror elements as well. Um, some of their ideas for what they've done in terms of sort of the characters in this, like the bosses, I thought were really fun, and especially the last one. Like I don't even know how to describe that, but I'll wait until we go into spoiler territory for us to speak about that together.
I think for me, it
But
was
no,
the first one and the last one were the best.
yeah, yeah, the first one definitely. Yeah, the way that they do these levels, it's like you always feel that you're in danger, but
Mm.
also sort of not. But when all of a sudden something switches, along with the music as well,
Yeah.
obviously it's got that sort of that typical Jaws music where it's like dun 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 dun. Not that's that music, but you get what I mean. All of a sudden the music builds up, and you're thinking, "Fuck, has someone spotted me?" Like there's literally a part where you're in a boat going through water, and I don't even know how to describe them. I'm going to call them baby faces because they look like they got baby faces to me.
Yeah.
Um, and they're sort of still, and as you're going past them or you close to them, all of a sudden the tone in the music changes, so it starts to go a lot quicker. So you know you've accidentally woken one of them or got too close to them, so then you got to react to that. So yeah, all of that combined together made this a really fun game for me. Yeah, other than that last hiccup at the game, you can tell this has definitely got the same vibes as Little Nightmare 1 and 2 and 3 with the way it's just set.
Yeah.
That's like that whole atmosphere is like what you get from those games.
Has it
Like
made
you
you
can
want to
tell
play
straight away.
those games now more or less?
Uh, it's tricky because I have a feeling those games, like the story really intrigued me on this game.
Yeah.
And even though I'm confused to what's actually happened, if they released a Reanimal 2, I'd be like, I want to play that because I want to know more about this, about the lore, about this world, about
Apparently, there's going
what's
to be
happened.
DLC.
See, so I'd be interested in that.
Me too.
Whereas Little Nightmares, I probably would like if I had the chance to play it. If I'm sure those two, the first two, are going to come out for free at some point on PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
They've been out for years now. I feel like that'd be a good time for them to put those on PlayStation Plus and see if people buy it number free. So if they do come for free, out for free, then I would give them a go because I like the whole sort of movement system, the whole sort of the way that that game works,
Hmm.
the mechanics of it and stuff. So if it's very similar to those sort of puzzles in Reanimal and sort of good enough story, then yeah, I would be interested. But I think the story needs to be as good as Reanimal for me. To actually sort of, if I play the first one and I'm not interested in the story, then yeah, less chance of me playing number two. But yeah, I'll definitely give it a go, especially as it's another cool game to go through.
So, what score would you give us out of 10?
I haven't given it a 10, obviously, just because, like I said, we did have that little hiccup at the end, and that does change things in terms of it was such a smooth interaction with the game up until that point, and then that just sort of did deflate me a little bit in terms of we're so close to finishing it. But it was a really fun game. Obviously, it doesn't take too long to complete. It looks like it could be a fun platinum to go for at some point, and there's obviously more to the world that we haven't explored yet, so it would be cool to do another rerun of it at some point to see what we missed out on. So I gave it an 8.5 out of 10, which I think is a very solid and respectable score.
Yeah, you gave it the same as Blueprints, Still Waits the Deep, and Sword of the
Yes.
Sea. So it's up there in good company.
Yeah, yeah. And sort of you mentioned those games, they sort of all have like similar, like in terms of like the almost like indie games really, aren't they? But
Yeah, I
not as
mean,
such. Yeah.
I think you're pretty
But
much bang
Blueprints
on.
definitely
Yeah.
is. But yeah.
Um, I echo pretty much everything. The main issue we had was that bit at the end. I don't really think there was anything else bad, like really bad, like I said about the game. Um, Everything worked well. It plays really well. I think it's got great gameplay. It's got a great feel to it. It's designed for co-op. I wonder if some of the reviews from critics, obviously before the game comes
Single
out, are
player.
they single player? And yes, this game would be very different single player.
Yeah.
We're obviously going to review it on a co-op basis because that's how we played it and that's how they designed it. It's clearly
Yeah,
designed
yeah.
for co-op, so you have to review it as a co-op game, in my opinion. Um, I would say there's a lot of, and I know I say it a lot. I love story to be shoved in my face. I like to know, even if it's like mysterious, like Expedition 33, you don't really know what's happening until the end. But at least
Yeah.
you eventually
Mhm.
get it all and you get it. And that moment in Expedition is like, oh my God, fucking incredible. In this, it's like mysterious. And in the end, you're just like, what the fuck is this? Like, what is going on? Um,
Yeah.
for me, that is a negative. When I'm rating a game, when I'm comparing it to other games, and I know I took the Split Fictions rating down for the story, but at least that story was in my face. I still could follow a story, and I knew what was happening, and knew what was gonna happen, or got an ending, and I was like, okay, fine. It wasn't the best story in the world, which is why I didn't give the game a 10. In this case, it's like I don't know what the hell I just played. In terms of story,
Yeah.
I couldn't really explain it to you. I just genuinely couldn't. Other than there's two kids who go and find their missing friends, and there's
Yeah.
some weird crap that happens to them on the way. Like it is not much more than that. Um, and yeah, I can't go into any more than that other than spoilers. But a story aside, which is probably my weakest part of the game, gameplay is phenomenal, particularly co-op. It's fun, it's funny, and it's set up for funny moments. You can be purposely funny, like you can kill each other, literally in this game, um,
Yeah.
or accidentally. There's a moment where they switch up the gameplay where slightly spoilery, so I won't say it, but it changes the way you two interact, which is really fun. I thought they had lots of creative ideas. Most of their creativity was definitely in enemy design, and I thought it was
Yes.
unbelievably good. Like some of the best enemy designs I've seen in a long time, in terms of how creative they were and how disturbing they were. Everything in this game
Yeah.
is
They're
very
different.
disturbing.
Very
Um,
different to anything else I've seen.
yeah,
And the collectible stuff as well, like the masks, like that, I think is such a small thing,
really cool
but it
idea.
adds another layer to the game.
Yeah. Um, I think I would say the best thing about this game is the vibe. They've
Yeah.
100% nailed it. Just like, and I would still consider Split Fiction, Hazelight Studios to be the kings of co-op. I'd say these are second place, if not third, if there's someone else that I've not played yet. But they obviously nailed it. But what they have fully nailed is the vibe of it. Like the setting is so disturbing the whole way through. The music, even the way your characters speak,
Yeah, I was gonna say
even
that
the way the game is
the way they
played and
sound is pretty
feels,
good.
and it's just honestly fantastic how they've done it. Visually, it looks great. Some of the there's one like set piece moment where you're running up a staircase and there's something chasing you. Hopefully, you remember what I'm talking about without spoiling it. And when we were
Yeah.
playing, I was just like, "This is so cool! Like, this is unbelievably cool." And I just love those moments. And this game has a lot of them. A lot of them. Um, yeah, I don't know what else to say other than without spoiling it, but I just think it's a fantastic co-op game. If you love co-op games, you have a friend that you play all your co-op games with, 100% give it a go. Like Andy said, it's not the scariest game in the world. It's no Outlast, it's no Dead Space. There's definitely horror elements to it. I say horror. It's a horror game. There's people chasing you. There's things chasing you. and there's some disturbing things that happen, but it's not to the extent of an Outlast. It's definitely
Yeah.
more. Maybe that's just, but actually, I can say that easily. But obviously, if you're saying Andy, who doesn't like horror games as much, then it applies even more so
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like obviously we're getting Resident Evil this
this week.
weekend. Um and for me I'm sort of looking in one way I'm excited to play it because I'm hoping it's going to be a great game. But on the other hand, I know it's going to be hard for me to get through because I'm expecting it to be a lot scarier. So I'm going to be more nervous and on the edge of my seat. And I know that's I guess when you're playing a co-op game as well, and there's two of you, you sort of lost some of that scare factor as
A
well
million
because
percent.
there's
Yeah.
you've got that person with you that you're playing the game with. Whereas if I'm playing by myself, headset on, UG in the dark, it is obviously a lot scarier. So
Yeah.
yeah, this game is if you're not a massive fan of horror games, don't let that put you off. I think this is at a nice level where you can still play it and enjoy it without being scared or yeah, there's not many sort of jump scares or anything like that. And if they are, they're not like
Major.
purposely trying to scare you
Yeah.
sort of jump scares, if that makes sense.
Yeah. The other thing I would say is if you're like me and you prefer your story to be in your face and you don't have to go onto YouTube to watch 10 different lore videos, then you'll be disappointed in that sense, because you'll finish this game thinking, what the fuck? Yes, maybe we, like you say, Andy, we didn't collect everything. Maybe there's a secret ending which improves the ending and makes you understand everything. I still doubt that. I reckon it was just some like extra twist or something. Could be wrong though. But if you like those kind of things, if you like the Bloodborns where you it's all mysterious and you go on YouTube and you're like, oh my god, that's so cool. Now it all makes sense. It's like then this game is definitely for you. But for me, I just want that fed to me during the game. Um, but in terms of score, I was torn between 8.5 and 8. I've been thinking about it
Oh,
since we beat it. I couldn't quite go to 9, 9 being amazing on our scale. It's close, but then at the same time, I'm giving it an 8, so it's not as close as you would have given it. Um, I think for
okay.
me, the story just really let me down in terms of I am someone who, and I know games aren't all about stories, but for me, gameplay is always number one, and this does very well in that sense. The story is
Yeah,
number two for me, and that just isn't. It's here. It's just not what I look for in a story. Um, if the DLCs come in and change things and improve, like make things make sense, then great. But as a standalone game on its own, don't get me wrong, an eight's a great score, literally on our scale.
yeah, of course, yeah. I, it's tricky because I think like if they do plan to do DLC and more of these games that add to the story, then it's like, okay, that's fine having it as the first game, leaving it a bit mysterious to what actually went on and what happened. Whereas if it is that's the end of it, and then you have to research how people interpreted the game or whatever,
Yeah,
then obviously, yeah, I can understand you marking it down for that. Whereas for me, I sort of found it fascinating and weird, and it's like, what the hell went on? Like, well, in one way, I'm happy that I don't know what's going on, as it was just so messed up and creepy and stuff. So it's like, it's that sort of game. Like, it's the sort of game that can get away with not just telling you what the story is, sort of thing, in my opinion.
I know what you mean. As a co-op experience, I think it's great, and
Yeah,
you can kind of forget about the story. And sometimes in co-op games you do. But if I'm giving Split Fiction a 9.5, I definitely can't give this close to that, in my opinion. It's not quite there on the gameplay.
yeah,
Not that this gameplay's bad, but Split Fiction is like the pinnacle.
yeah,
Um,
mechanics on that go to a different level.
and despite knocking the story on Split Fiction, it's better than this story. So it's just everything needs to be knocked down a bit, and it's got me down to this 8 score, which is a great score. It's not a bad score at all.
Yeah,
Um,
I think that's the general sort of what people are going for anyway. Obviously, it's scored 80 on
yeah,
Metacritic, 81 on OpenCritic. That's the sort of score that people are putting this game at.
there was a point in the game where I was thinking 9, and I
Yeah,
think the story was just so like what the fuck, and then the issues we had at the end, I was like, oh, it's just
yeah,
it. Not that I don't want to sound negative. People should play this game. I think this game, unless this year is stellar, this will make my top 10 quite comfortably. unless this year is absolutely phenomenal.
Still a lot of games to come out there.
Yeah,
That's
I
a big,
mean,
big early shout.
yeah, I guess you've got Resident Evil, Pragmata, Invincible. I'm going to make an early
Saros.
prediction. I think this will be
Yeah,
better than
well,
Directive 8020.
I think so.
I know
I
they're
think
different
so. I
games. I
agree with
know
you on
they're
that.
very different. But I think even though, and that's the contradiction here, even though Directive 8020 is probably going to have a very obvious storyline, I think I'm going to enjoy the overall experience more in this.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure I'll play Directive P20 as well, but I haven't got as high hopes for that game as like Steven has because I think he's got that high on his list at the moment in terms of how good that game's going
It's
to
because
be.
they've done
But
well in the past with The Quarry and Until Dawn. And actually, I don't know what Little Nightmares scored. Is this their best game?
uh, I don't know. I have a feeling Little Nightmare 3 is in the 70s somewhere, like 75, 76, but
Well, that's
I
not
could be
them.
completely wrong. Oh, yeah, they done 1 and 2, didn't they?
Little Nightmares
Yeah.
1 is 79. I'm doing Open Critic because it's
Okay.
just easier. And Little Nightmares 2, 83. So that's their
Okay.
best. No, I'm not looking at Little Big Planet. I'm talking about like their new kind of style of games.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, so maybe
They've
even
obviously they've got a creative way of doing
they've
games
created
and
a
it's
niche for themselves,
working.
haven't they?
So
Yeah.
yeah, so they've got to stick with it now.
Oh, I mean, yeah. As soon as this developer announces a game similar to this, doesn't have to be Reanimal 2, but a game in this style,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
co-op way, I'm
We'd
like,
want to
yeah,
play it.
fuck it, whatever,
Yeah.
sign me up. One other positive to mention about this game before we go into a quick break is they do the friend pass that Split Fiction does.
Yeah.
So if one person owns it, they can play with a friend who doesn't own it for absolutely free. So it is another positive on this one, which most co-op games are doing now. Split Fiction do it and all that, so it makes sense.
Yeah, definitely makes sense and always positive.
Okay, we're going to take a very quick break. When we come back, we are going to spoil this game. So if you don't want to be spoiled, then we'll see you in the next episode. No point coming back. Next episode, we are talking about Xbox and all the changes they've had over there with everyone leaving this week. We'll also be talking about what else we've been playing in the episode if you're interested. So otherwise, stick around and we'll be back in a minute. Welcome back to the Late Night Gamer podcast. We are reviewing Reanimal. If you're still here and you don't want to be spoiled, now is the time to leave because we are about to go into spoiler details. But what I will say, and me and Andy just said it in the break, there's not much to spoil. What we're talking about is, and what we think people should go into this game not knowing, is the more like the enemies, I think, and the ending.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the ending because we have to. Um, but I think even if I was to tell someone the ending of this game, they'd be
Yeah.
like, I don't get it. And I'm like, well, neither do I.
I
So,
I think there's only one major spoiler in terms of what I would consider anyway, in
the bit
terms
from
of
the
when I
TikTok.
shot
Oh,
with my character. What
yeah,
happened to my
when I
character?
said you got fucked by a sheep.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
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 So if
So
someone
I
is
think
still
that
here
is
listening to
sort of
that
yeah.
and they haven't played it, they'll be like, oh, this game is not what I thought it was. And it wasn't what I thought it was, to be honest. Well, let's start with that point, and then I guess if people are still here listening, they obviously don't care about spoilers or they played the game.
Yeah.
Um, that was probably the moment that this game went from mysterious and like what's going on to what the fuck is going on? Like, what?
Yeah.
How have we got here? Like, so what we're
Yeah.
referring to for those that have played it is the moment where are we going to go with a second player? I don't. When I
I think it's
started the
the second
game,
player.
you wasn't in the game, and I had to find you.
I'm the sister.
You're the
Yeah.
sister. That's right. Well, there's a moment where actually throughout the game you have these like flashbacks to this sheep in this like what looks like a cave, and it's
Yeah.
slowly
And I'm
getting
also having
bigger.
like moments. I'm having moments where I'm like almost feeling sick or like feel like I'm about to pass out or
Yes.
something. Yeah.
And then I literally said, and it's on the TikTok now for people to see. I said, "Do you think you've been fucked by a sheep?" And I said, "We need to get to the bottom of this because something's going on." And about 10 seconds later, your character, instead of giving birth to one, threw one up,
Yeah. A whole sheep came out of me and then
and
stole our friends.
and then started going on a rampage and turned into this massive monster, which is the final boss. That was just an absolute bizarre moment.
yeah, I wasn't expecting it at all. Like I knew something was going on, and obviously when it was throwing the flashbacks at me, I thought it was just like messing up my head basically
Mm.
with like whatever had affected me in my past. Um, I was still confused by that whole thing. Like, what the hell actually happened? Like, just thinking back to that scene, all of a sudden I just throw up a sheep, and then yeah,
Carry on.
it eventually,
I mean, I
yeah, and then you
carried you
just
on my back
well,
for a
then
little
you
bit.
carry me, then
Yeah.
you literally in the game. But yeah, no, yeah, it's just such a weird moment, and I like when games do that because you're thinking, what the fuck? And I get obviously going back to your point about them not feeding the story to us. It maybe would have been cool to then sort of get some closure on that whole sheep thing, what actually was happening. I know people probably have their sort of
Theories, yeah.
opinions or yeah, their point of views on sort of what had happened. To me, it was like some weird sheep cult thing, and I don't
Yeah.
really know what else the story was trying to tell us other than there's some sort of ritual involved with it. You sort of see that, and then you see all the sheep like stand up in some sort of cult sort of way, and you're thinking like, what the fuck is going on? So I still don't really get it, like in that sense, like what were they all doing there? Like I know they're finding their friends, but one, why were they missing in the first place? Two, what was the ritual thing about?
Yeah.
Three, the sheep.
I feel like the game is. Let's talk about the ending because, like, what you mentioned there is that the sheep are all standing up in like this cult formation. Your character has been tied up, dragged along by my character and the
Yeah,
friends as some sort of ritual thing is going on with this sheep. And I question if what we're seeing at the end should have been at the beginning. Is like what is actually happening at the beginning, and then
yeah,
whatever
yeah. I think
happens at
so.
that point has meant you have inhaled or some sort of you've got a sheep inside you now, and then you give birth to it. But
Yeah,
I I don't, it doesn't also make sense because we both got eaten by this fucking massive sheep in the end. We're looking. I think you were looking
yeah,
for my character in the intestines of this fucking sheep. This is a
yeah,
bizarre
yeah,
game if anyone hasn't played this, um, and it just all just goes weird. So I don't, what I will say is all I loved how it all looked. Like all of that stuff, it was so cool. Like the imagery of the sheep doing that. I was like, this is all great.
yeah. The
Just
sounds.
explain it to me. I just need to get
Yeah,
it because I'm left wondering why was we even looking for these friends, especially your character, because these your four friends
yeah,
were shipping you off to these sheep. If that did happen first, maybe she's forgot it all. I don't know. We'll never know. Maybe she didn't
yeah.
even know
Maybe
it was
that's
you.
why.
Don't know
Maybe that's why we I was having those flashbacks because I wasn't 100% sure
what was
on
going
what
on.
had happened.
Mm.
And then by the time my character does figure it out, it's too late, sort of thing.
So,
Yeah,
yeah, so it's either happening
I
again
don't know.
at the end, or that's what I mean. It's I could I know I say I don't like it. I fully understand why people do like this kind of thing because they can go online and like have the conspiracy theories and all that
Yeah,
jazz.
yeah.
I'm just not clever enough or creative enough for that. I think I just need to be told what the story is because
I think we're along the right lines though, because I did look, I did read some stuff, and I tried to watch the secret ending. I didn't watch all of it, but that doesn't help me in any sense. By the way, the secret ending.
yeah,
Yeah, it's just like you see your character on the floor, and then the five little kids with masks on, and it's like the well thing again, like overflowing water and stuff. It's like, yeah. So it didn't actually
help.
help me in
No,
any sense. Make it's just another weird ending. But yeah, people from what I read, people were saying the ritual part was like a flashback to the start of the game, and that
fine.
they were doing a ritual, and then yeah, not much other than that though. It's like, why were they doing the ritual?
So that
Like,
yeah, well
uh,
that then leads to what is this place like? Because they kept
yeah,
saying the
yeah.
things, especially towards the end, like oh, this brings back memories, like of. So you kind of thought you were revisiting places from their past. Has this place been overtaken by these sheep, or what? Because obviously
Oh,
the first main enemy, who I think is probably the best design and the
I'm
creepiest
gonna call him Ice
character,
Cream Man.
I call him the Iron Man,
Yeah,
because he literally irons people, or what we think of people anyway. Um, like what is this? What is he about? And what are all these flat people skinning around like snakes on the floor about. Like, how is
Yeah,
this? I guess sometimes you just got to accept this is maybe like a not mythical, but like it's a fictional setting. I get it, but these kids are on their own. Like, what has got this to the situation? I hope I'm
yeah,
not sounding
it would
so
be
like
good.
pathetic, but I just need more
No, no,
information.
it would be good to know more about them because, like you say, like we like the enemies, we
Yeah, I
like the
loved it
main
all.
villains of the
Yeah,
game, and it'd be cool for them to have some more backstory. Like all we know about the first character is, like you said, he irons out people and he's hanging them over like over
like washing.
hanging
Yeah,
lines and stuff, like washing. And then all of a sudden, he can also teleport through
people's
people,
bodies.
and you see like a massive like blood hole in them. It's like, what the fuck is this all about? So like, there's so many cool ideas and
Mm.
creative ideas around the characters. We just want to know more about them. But I do like the way in which we sort of battle those bosses. Like you don't battle them
Yeah, you
as
don't
you would
kill
in a
them
normal
with
game.
guns or anything. No, yeah,
Um, but yeah, that whole scene with the ice cream truck, like in when we're in the ice cream truck,
yeah,
like battling him off with like different objects or whether it was I had a knife, I think you had something. But yeah, just that the whole way in which they do those fights with those main bosses that you're sort of trying to avoid the entire game because you're scared of them, scared of them catching you, which obviously we did have happen a few times.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, the whole mechanics behind the boss fights were fun for me.
yeah. I agree. I would love to see. Part of me would love to see DLC of like new bosses, but if one of the
Yeah,
DLCs was like some more time with that first guy,
yeah.
I'll be
Or if
fully up
it's
for
like a
that.
flashback scene with like more.
Yeah, how he became what he became, or I don't know, he returns somehow. I don't know. It's anything they could do because I thought he was just so cool looking, or disturbing, obviously.
Yeah,
Um, but if what he was more what he was doing, and when you saw him doing what he was doing, it's like creepy as
yeah,
shit.
and it's like obviously having to hide from him, like the bit where we do first see him ironing people, and you got the washing machines, you got to hide in the washing machines and stuff to
Yeah,
avoid him peeking around the corner because obviously he's a massive, cool guy, and obviously you're a little kid, so straight away that's scary for you. So yeah, it is when he's like using his hands and peeking around the washing machines or wherever it is, you're like thinking, shit, 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 gotta get around the other side quickly or inside. So it does add that bit more of a intensity to it.
I don't know about you, but when obviously we're playing this game called Reanimal, and apart from that boss, most of the other bosses were animal related. I
Yeah,
started thinking that this whatever has happened in this world is happening to these animals, and something's happened, and maybe they've obviously some of them have grown massive, and some of them are like grown parts or a bit deformed, and you're thinking maybe this is what's happened, and
yeah,
these animals have killed everything, and that's why this place is so like deserted. It never got to that kind of explanation. Maybe that is the case. I don't know, but um, some of the one that stands out for me out of those enemies is the massive bird with the turkey. I'm going to call him bollocks on his chin. Um,
yeah,
I just thought he was so cool. Like, oh, actually, no.
yeah,
There was the moment I was talking about earlier in the first part of the review when they were going up the spiral staircase. You got that spider looking thing
yeah.
that
I
was
can't
that had
remember
like
what
a
that was
massive
called.
hole in
But
its where its mouth would have
yeah,
been.
the with the kids as well, because that had like the spirit kids,
Oh,
what they're
the
called.
yeah, what dust kids, whatever they were. Like you could break
Yeah,
them. They were actually pretty creepy. That was probably one of the
yeah,
creepiest
yeah,
parts of the game, actually. But when that was crawling up and you was going around in the circle, I was like, this looks the camera angle, everything. I was like, this is so bloody
yeah.
well done.
Yeah, I think that's another thing to mention. Like you say, the camera angle, like movement, the when you're playing this game and you're running away from these things,
Yeah,
it moves so smoothly and like
yeah,
transitions into like the next scene like really well. It's crazy how they can do games like this.
yeah. It's
Um,
the cinematography, if that's what you want to call it, is
yeah,
unbelievable. And there's the moment where you're climbing that cliffside on the massive ladder, and you're like it's zooming out, and you realize how high you're
yeah, yeah,
going. Then there's this massive
yeah.
like flower field. It's like they're
Oh, that's good.
very
That's like
artistic. It's very well done. That's just before the
yeah, yeah,
bird as
no,
well,
yeah,
though.
yeah, no, yeah. I definitely agree with you. Yeah, obviously, I think there's more to the animal side on this game. Obviously, it's called Reanimal. Um, there's one part which I really enjoyed and like just adds to the creepiness of this game where we're in the boat and it's been our way through is through that pirate ship or that massive ship, and it's got like a whale there, whatever. And then
Yes.
we go undersea, like we go down into one of those cages, like I don't know how far down, but then we still steal an eye from this other monster that we then. I really hope we've got that bit clipped because like when we're running away, there I'm slightly behind you, and it's like the rocks are coming down as we're like trying to
Oh
escape the
yeah.
cave. And that collapses just as I get out. So that was quite a cool sort of fun movie moment. But then we steal his eye and put it in another animal to wake them up and move him out of the way so we can get through. And it's like, what the fuck is going on like with these animals?
I'm gonna
So
see
there's
if it
obviously
was
more to
clipped.
that.
How do I? Don't know how to use this thing. Ah, time range. Last 7 days. Yeah, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
No, no, we haven't got it clipped yet, but we definitely can clip it. Yeah, because that was a really cool moment. Um,
yeah.
just realized. Do you want to know how many times we died?
I do. I know you've got the stats.
Yeah. So if people were here for our split fiction review around this time last year, maybe it was a couple months later, um, Big was present in all of our Twitch streams, and what he did insanely was count how many times each of us died, and at the end worked out who died the most. And I think you died the most in Split Fiction.
Yeah.
I can't remember by how much or whatever, but it's Bigsy's done the same again this time. So he was in every stream. He was there with his notebook, tallying how many deaths we had. Um, I am first going to ask you, as a total between us,
Yeah.
under or over 100?
I know you asked me that during the game, and it's like when you're thinking about it, I don't think we died that many times, like overall. Like, can I see us both dying 50 times each? I don't know, because there's moments like I think it's under 100 because this is a short game. I know we did die at moments, but overall there was a lot of we went through like stages where we just went through that part of the game and puzzle absolutely fine without no deaths. I think it's under 100.
You are correct.
Okay.
78.
Oh, okay, too fair, not too not too far away.
I actually thought it was going to be over 100. I thought it was going to be much more than 78.
You
Um,
thought it was over 100 like halfway through the game. I was like
yeah,
thinking, no way.
maybe it was just sometimes when you die
It pretty
consistently
feels
over
like
and
that.
over, yeah,
Yeah.
it feels worse. But you're right, there was patches of the game where we didn't. Um, so he's got a few fun stats. This one says you both died together, which I'm guessing,
Oh, okay.
I don't know how that works. I'm trying to think about how that would work in this game. I guess we both jump off at the same time or
Yeah, I guess
something.
something along those
Actually, you might
lines.
have explained it. This was, oh, yeah, sorry. This was stuff like actually killing each other, like driving into mines or trolling deaths and stuff like
Oh.
that. Okay, so 18 times. Then he says, Andy was responsible for both of your deaths 9 times.
Whoa. So you're
I
responsible for having it?
I was responsible 6 times.
No, that can't be right.
These are the facts. These
It
are the
starts off
facts.
with you driving a boat into mine.
And it was only five
First,
times after that. Um, but I do have the totals. So of the 78, how close do you think this is?
I do think you died more.
You do.
I think, yeah. I think it's going to be 40, 38.
Bang on.
It's actually,
It's 40-38. Did he give you the stats?
no, it's actually.
It's 40-38. I died 40 times.
Ah, yes.
Twice more than you, which is very frustrating.
That is
Um,
funny. The one part that like jumps straight out at me is when we're attached together by rope,
yes.
and obviously you can't move too far ahead, and we're just there's a hole coming up, and we're running together at the same time. I say jump, I just stop. You go to jump across and just fall down the hole.
there
That is one of
was
the best moments from this game.
there was so many funny moments like that. There's a bit
Yeah,
at the beginning where the spinning wherever that
yeah,
was,
the
and he
tube thing
said,
on the
"I'll just
hole.
jump down the hole," and I didn't. Died. I'm guessing that's one of the 9 that he's got for you. Um,
Yeah,
so well done. You beat me, if that's what we're going to call it. I won Split Fiction,
uh,
so it's 1-1.
you did. Yeah, 1-1 now. See what the
um,
next game is.
Any other things you want to talk about before we wrap it up?
Um, just some of the, I guess some of the missions, like the tank mission when you're in the tank fighting the final boss is
Yes.
pretty cool. Like I said, the sniper level, I think that's like a really cool mission to for people to experience.
Yeah.
It's like it's crazy how a game like this, like we said it during the stream, you said it, Welchy, it kept surprising you
Mm.
or us with how all of a sudden we're doing one thing and then next thing we're in the tank or we're 300 meters underwater trying to get an
Yeah.
eye. And it's like there's so many random things like that where or you think it's you've seen it all, but then you go into the next chapter or the next stage of the game and it's like they're always switching up with new creative things. The army people, when they're blowing themselves up, it's like, what the fuck? Like all
Yeah.
those bits.
Yeah, that was really fucking disturbing actually. Um, that's a good point. The about it changing all the time. We said the same on Split Fiction. I think again, Split Fiction does that to an even more impressive level. But
Yep,
as I
agree.
said, these guys are right behind them. Like if they just got to nail a few more things, and they'll be getting those nines, nine and a halves like Split Fiction are. So um,
Yep.
it's a fantastic game. I think you're right. It was a lot of variety in the gameplay. Even like driving the boat, and one of us has got the harpoons. Like didn't see that
Yeah,
coming
yeah.
in this game. Didn't even think we'd be using the boat that much, and you end up using it a lot. And it wasn't
Yeah, yeah.
annoying either. It played a purpose. Um, this game doesn't hold your hand either. Like it doesn't tell you anything, not even just story wise, but even like what to do. So there's the moment where we're stuck on what I called a submarine, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Um, we're there for ages thinking, why is this thing not fucking working? And then we decided to go and just look somewhere else and eventually figured out what we had to do. But
Yeah, yeah.
it was never going to tell you that. And
No, no, because we're obviously there thinking we have to put bullets into it. The bullets that are on the floor are like empty shells, and we're thinking, oh, that's not working. And we're looking around that small area just to see if we can find anything, and don't and think, oh, let's just move on. That must be a side quest that we can do. Obviously, turns out we go on to the second part, and then there we are finding the bullets that we've now got to take back to the submarine. So it all then links together again. It's like, yeah, it's really cool.
it is very well done. One thing I wish we did do a bit more is find more of the masks because I think there would have been some really cool ones to get.
Yeah,
We didn't get many of them. Maybe we'll play it again at some point. I know Jack wants to play it at some point, and Stephen wants to. I don't know if he'll play with you or James, whoever. But it's a fantastic game. Very much recommend it, especially if you're a fan of co-op or horror, but more so
yeah,
fun experiences in co-op. Cool. I think that's gonna do it for today's episode. Let me get my notes here quickly, which are definitely not updated, but we'll go with it anyway. Um, so, thank you all for watching this week's episode of the Late Night Gamer podcast. Let us know your thoughts on Reanimal. Do you agree with our ratings? Do you think it's better? Do you think it's worse? Let us know in the comments or tag us on socials at the Late Night Pods. We'd love to hear from you. You can also join our Discord using the link in the description to be able to get your messages in before we record our podcasts. If you enjoyed the episode, please make sure to follow and subscribe wherever you are listening. And if you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next episode. Speaking of which, next time we'll be discussing the Xbox news. Obviously, there's a lot of news happened this week. I'm forgetting their names now. Phil
Phil.
Spencer. Phil Spencer has resigned or retired from Xbox.
Yeah,
Sarah Bond has also resigned. Loads of changes at Xbox. We're going to discuss what it means for Xbox, what it means for gaming in general, um, and we'll also be talking about what else we've been playing in the episode as well. Until then, thank you all for hanging out with us tonight. I have been your host, Welchy, joined as always by my co host, Andy.
yeah. Thank you as always, guys. It's been a pleasure talking about Reanimal, and hopefully, if you guys have played it, you've had a fun experience with it as well.
Thank you all for listening and keep on gaming.